The Supreme Court cleared the way for Trump's transgender military ban to take effect. Which is hilarious. The entire Republican Party shows signs of cognitive dissonance. They say, trans people are too strong. They can't be in sports. They're too strong. However, they're also too weak. Can't be in military. They're too weak. It's just like the immigrants thing. They take too many jobs, but they don't work enough jobs. Like, there's no actual... They just hate immigrants, and they just hate trans people. There's no actual argument. That's why I hate when people are like, well, no, I agree with Republicans on this one trans issue. It's like, no. Then stop agreeing with them. Their opinions on trans people aren't, like, diverse and complicated. They just hate trans people, and they will portray any message to hate trans people. That's all it is. Dude, these comments are so stupid. These comments are so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Dude, I hate how brain dead these people are. This fucking country. I hate this country so much.
Others, like the Trump administration, have argued that transgender members of the military create threats in the military, that they could undermine the ability of the military to do its job, and...
Oh my god. What's funny is they're catering to, like, what was it? Was it North Korea? China? Which country was it that made some video that was like, the American military is woke and gay. We're really strong. And it actually, like, that actually got to Republicans, because Republicans are, like, really, really sensitive. I mean, like I said, everything the Republican Party does is projection, so if they say, like, we're not triggering you, it's because they're very easy to trigger. So, like, when they did that, they're like, we don't have woke and gay in the military, trans ban? Please. They're catering to their enemies. This is what their enemies were tempting them to do, but they're so stupid and, like, they have very, what I like to say, two-dimensional brains, so they didn't realize that, and they just went with it. They just followed along. Undermined the effect of the military. Oh my god, it just gives you a smaller military? Exactly. It's so stupid. They're too strong for sports. They're brutes. They're monsters. They can beat everybody up. They're gonna kill everybody. But they're too tiny and weak, like little ants. They cannot be in the military. They're gonna fuck too much. That's what I worry about. We can't have transgender barracks bunnies. We need the cis ones. I don't want to be having loving sex with another man, only to find out he identifies as a woman. It cannot happen.
The defense official said as of December 9th, there were about 4,200 troops diagnosed with gender dysphoria.
4,200. 2.86 million. According to USA Facts. Wonderful. However, that 2,400 is really going to fuck us over. Can we start treating this like an attack on civil rights, please? That would be cool.
The ban was important because allowing people with gender dysphoria would, quote, and this is what they said in the court filing, undermine military effectiveness and lethality.
So vibes. So you don't like the vibes. You're banning trans people from serving in the military because of vibes. You just don't like the vibes. You think the vibes are off. You don't want them to be one of the boys. That's all. Okay.
And they are adamant that this is not a ban on all transgender people serving the military. They say it's only people who have gender dysphoria or have undergone medical intervention to transition. They say
not all trans people, just trans people who experience gender dysphoria. Guys, we're banning not all black people from the military, but just people with the amount of melatonin that black people tend to have. That's it! Or undergone medical treatment, which is the cure for gender dysphoria. So if you have gender dysphoria, you can't get in the military, but if you've been cured of your gender dysphoria, you can't get in the military. Genius! Obviously, guys! Fucking duh! What are you, stupid? Lol. Liberals, am I right?
say that's a medical condition that would affect service just like other conditions like asthma or hypertension. But if you're
both of those conditions. You can't help me lift this heavy box. You have schizophrenia. What, am I gonna say somebody in a wheelchair is supposed to help me lift the box up there? No. Ah, yes. Gender dysphoria. Like hypertension. I can't imagine being this brain dead. It's not in my... And I always say, like, I use this as an argument once. I was conservative brained once, but I was like 12. I cannot imagine being an adult and listening to this and going, well, they're making a good point.
If you're transgender and you're not seeking to transition, you could still serve.
If you're transgender but you're not seeking to transition. I know she probably means like medically or surgically or some bullshit, but that's really funny because it makes it sound like if you're trans, as long as you're not trans, you can still serve. Did someone's phone go off in this?
And administer.
Yeah, I mean, they.
Someone's phone dinged in the background. Do y'all hear that? Framing trans people being in the military as a national security issue, to believe that, you have to be mentally deranged. I'm sorry, there's something wrong with your brain. Get it checked out. Something's going on up there. Exactly. That's why Trump says it all the fucking time. He said that films not being made in America is a national security threat. You notice how that might be a little weird? You notice how that's a little bit of a weird thing to say? That might be because when you say that, courts don't question you. They just go, oh, okay. I don't understand how right-wingers get upset about immigration and also complain about birth rates going down. Like, there's a pretty clear way to bring the country population up, like, right there. Well, yeah, but they like the national country's population going up when it's white people. So, you know.